Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Islam, Islam, Islam. We are here, we are here, we are here for 30 minutes, more or less. Let me close this door real quick. Okay, let's start that again. Islam, Islam, Islam. We are here, we are here, we are here for 30 minutes, more or less. Happy holy day to all Moors and Muslims all over the world. Today is Friday, June 27th, 2025. Yep, and it's another week in life on planet Earth. I'm not going to keep y'all too long because, you know, Moors always got something to do, so I got to hurry this along because I'm not done with my day. I hope you all are done with your day. But anyway, I'm going to jump into it. Thank you all again for being here. I'm not going to keep y'all too long. So today is my weekly presentation on what's been going on in the week. If I seem a little distracted, it's because I actually wrote everything down because why? I respect your time, but my head is still spinning. It doesn't matter. It's like, even though I wrote what I want to talk about, there's still other stuff like, what about that? I'm not going to do it though. I'm trying to stay on my notes. So today, I would like to cover Moorish Meetup NYC, which is coming up in 1 month. Can't tell me nothing, right? That's for the new offerings at Certified Moorish and CalifaMedia.com. Talk about that in a minute. And in the news that's pertinent to Moors, Supreme Court rulings, including no more homo and 14th Amendment, thanks but no thanks, and y'all can start packing. All right, so let's get moving. So first things first, take care of some business. Weekly announcements. I took care of all that. Weekly announcements. Moorish Meetup NYC. If you don't know, there is a Moorish Meetup scheduled for July 25th. So Friday, July 25th through Saturday, July 26th in Harlem and Newark, New Jersey, right? It's called Navigating Waters of Legacy. We will be, Allah willing, retracing the steps of the Prophet, you know, when he established the Divine and National Movement in America. That's where it started out, right? In Newark. So I'll be there. It's a meetup, right? I'm taking my children on vacation. I want them to know their history, you know, not just because, I got books all over the place, right? And I can show you stuff online, but I know it will have a greater impact if we just actually show up in those spots and absorb that energy, right? So I'll be there. Again, it's free. You know, you spend what you want to spend. It's a meetup. All right. And there is RSVP page set up, or not a page, it's a sign up to RSVP if you're going to be showing up. And if you show up, I'm driving in because for whatever reason, I can't find a flight from where I am to that area that includes at least a carry-on. And I'm traveling with 2 other people. It's like, you know what? I'll just drive. We can just make it a whole like National Lampoon's thing. You know that movie. If you know, yes, I'm dating myself. If you're familiar with National Lampoon's, I'll be doing that. So anyway, there's an RSVP form up on riseofthemoors.org/NYC. That'll be the page for all the visits to that, I guess, the Eastern Seaboard, because I'm presuming that this won't be my first visit there because I have some other stuff that I want to do, but we didn't start planning this until too late. So yeah, this is like round 1, that kind of thing. So again, that's Moorish Meetup NYC, Navigating Waters of Legacy, where we will be retracing the steps of Noble Drew Ali in Harlem, New York, and Newark, New Jersey, starting Friday, July 25th through Saturday, July 26th. And the full itinerary is online at riseofthemoors.org/NYC. All right, next. 508 Inc. We have a 508 Incorporated toolkit. CertifiedMoorish.org or com. All right. Oh, and again, if I didn't introduce myself, I am Sister Tahita S. Najiola L. of CalifaMedia.com, riseofthemoors.org and com, mrcicharities.org and com, and now certifiedmoorish.org and com. Because I tried to put everything under Califa Media, but it's just it would be just too hard to navigate, so I made some branches. And certified, so Califa Media is the literary and cultural artifacts, or like merch, stuff that are cultural items, the stuff that says I'm a Moor, right? That's on Califa Media. And then Mercy Charities is there to act as like our united way. If you have something going on and you think it might qualify for a grant, Mercy Charities is there to help you do that, right? Not only to like apply for the grant, but if you don't want to or are not set up as 501c3, you can use that one, right? That's what it's there for. And then Rise of the Moors is the, I forgot it, impact statement. It's called an impact statement. You have a charity. What proof do we have of what you're doing with those funds? It's called an impact statement. Usually it's a piece of paper. Mercy Charities, ours is a website. And you can see what we're doing. It's called Rise of the Moors. Everything that Mercy Charities is doing and producing and funding is on Rise of the Moors. Okay? There's a whole story about that, and I believe it's on Rise of the Moors / About Us, in case you're wondering how we got that name. All right? So the business portion of all that. So Califa Media is the media, right? Mercy Charities is the charity and the 501c3, so you don't have to get your hands dirty. Rise of the Moors says what the charity is doing. And now Certified Moorish is where Moors who are interested in taking their places in the affairs of men, at least in the commercial realm. That's what Certified Moorish is about. I'm trying to get some Moors who are certified in their identity and don't have to report our activities, to our colonizers, our occupiers. I'm set up where I don't have to report anything. I would prefer to work with people who have that same setup. So you need to get Certified Moorish, right? You can do it yourself, but you can either do what I did, and figure it out, trial and error, 10 years, then you do it yourself, or it's right there for you ready to go. And it's a price, but it's not a big price, right? So now there's a detail page with that. So you can go on to birds flying out there, certifiedmoorish.org / I think it's 508 Inc., right? And there's a landing page that tells you what this thing is. And you can actually download a document of the course description. It's like the toolkit is a zip drive, and I'll give you the instructions so you can see and it tells you what this whole thing is about, right? And there's also now a frequently asked questions page up there, because Moors have been very supportive of this endeavor, and I really appreciate you, Moors. And not many of them have come back. There's been quite a few of these toolkits acquired, and you get 2 rounds of review. You don't just get it and I disappear. No, I would prefer that you send it to me for me to review it to make sure, like, okay, this should pass muster. You shouldn't have no hiccups. I've only had 3 people come back. Actually, no, 2, just to look at their paperwork. And I'm thinking, maybe they just forgot about it or whatever. And I check in on them. They like, no, it's one of those duh things. I'm not saying that they're saying duh, but they're saying it's so simple. It seems too easy. I hope I'm doing this right. But I know I'm doing it right because of how the instructions are written. And you can get those instructions for free on certifiedmoorish.org / 508 Inc. Right? Oh, and those people who have already acquired it, thank you for your patronage. And thank you for your feedback, because that's how I was able to build the frequently asked questions page. Because a lot of the stuff that I take for granted, it's like, oh yeah, time was I knew not, right? That kind of thing. So yeah, that's constantly being built out. And again, if you're doing this yourself, I just provide you the shortcut, right? But if you're doing it yourself and you like, man, what do I do next? It might be on that page, and it's free. Because my thing is, yes, a servant is worthy of his hire, but I can go faster if I give you stuff, right? Not everything. I can't do that. But I can at least be like, okay, you got that part. Did you know about this part? Oh yeah, you might want to consider that since you're already studying. That kind of thing. You know, God help the child to help himself. That kind of thing. All right. So the can't tell me nothing. I think I'm going to show y'all to this. It's official. So I took advantage of the astrological energies that were floating around yesterday because there was a new moon on, today's Friday, so there was a new moon on Wednesday, okay, in Cancer, which is the moon's domicile. Okay, that's the sign, that's moon sign. So there was a new moon in Cancer, where the moon is domicile, okay, conjunct the sun, the new moon, fresh. Jupiter is right there with this. It's like 1 degree away, and Jupiter is exalted, right? It has its home, and then there's where it like shines, where it might even prefer to be in this spot than its natural home. It's exalted in Cancer. Jupiter's right there with that new moon. And then Venus is sextiling. Not trining where it's just lay back and float. Sextile is like, let me point you and then you got to paddle. That's what a sex, at least you got it going. And Venus is sextiling all of this beneficial money energy because it rules money, because it rules women, right? And the feminine principle. So Venus, which also rules getting that money, not money itself, but getting the acquisition of it, is in its home sign of Taurus right now. So I took advantage of that, right? And I think I'm going to start putting that up there because I was talking to him more and he was talking about he wished he had known about that. I think I'm going to start posting my calendar so Moorish can see, like, yeah, if you want, it's called electional astrology. So if you want to see, like, when is a good day to file this stuff, I think I'm going to let you all in on the calendar that I already have. So I took advantage of all of that beneficial feminine energy as a feminine well, at least it's a female, not necessarily feminine, but at least I got the gender part going for me. You know, at least I got that much. So I took advantage of it and I planted a seed, right? Never do anything on the day of or at the exact moment of a new moon. It's like a baby being born, right? Oh, baby's here, get to work. No, you're going to give the baby a little time to like, okay, I'm here, I'm in this, I got this. Now what? That's why I did it the next day. So what did I do the next day? This is why I said can't tell me nothing. I feel the whole day I was just like, you know, when you see somebody in one of those Art Deco style suits from like the 20s or the 30s, and you know that person has like not necessarily a lot of money, but maybe a lot of power. At least they're like comfortable in what they have. I was just walking around all day like I was in a pinstripe suit. Right? Because I took the prophet's words and said, I need that specified for my situation. Right? AI, can you help me out? I'm going to tell y'all how to do it if you want to do it yourself. I'm just going to give it to you. But I'm going to let you know it took me like 3-4 months to work this conversation back and forth because this thing hallucinates. Right? Thank goodness I knew what I was looking at. You can do it yourself. Here's the recipe. Right? I need a trust that's like the prophet's trust. That I can attach to the prophet's trust, and that I can, not necessarily for me, you know, I'll set up my own personal thing to put into this one, and I want to be able to add other people to it if they want that option type of thing. Can you help me out with that? Here's a copy of Weiss's trustee handbook, okay, concise trustee handbook. Here's a copy of the prophet's trust. I already went over what that is, right? And here's a copy of the declaration of his trust. Y'all probably know what that is. If you don't, it'll be coming out, all right? And can you help walk me through? Don't do it for me because I know you hallucinate because you're just a machine and you still working out your bugs. Can you walk me through the process of doing this myself using my paralegal eyes because I know what to look for? Because I have trust books. I collect trust books, right? Because, and I've done them for other people, but it's one of those things like, dare I do it for myself? Dare I, right? And here, because I knew it's like when I do mine, that's going to be, I want it to be the last one that ever has to be done type of thing. Not that, you know, mine is the final one. No, here's the format, take it and you do it the same way because I think I got a key. So what did I file? Finally getting to it. Had AI crank out my certificate of trust, existence, and authority. Okay? No, you cannot see my trust. But this is the certificate that's public facing that lets everyone know. I should read it to y'all. It's really good, right? It basically lets them know that, same thing that I had done. It basically lets them know that I have been appointed a minister. Shout out to Grand Sheik Cujo Adwo L. You know, so it's good to have friends that when you ask for something, it's just like, it goes both ways sometimes if I'm not too busy. I need this. I'm on it. Hey, yo, I need this. I'm on. It's a given type of thing. So he appointed me a minister because I asked him to appoint me a minister, right? So I went and got another document same day saying, I'm about to put this on the record in the county record saying that I've been appointed a minister of the Moorish, not a sheik. I don't want to be a sheik. I want to be a minister, right? Maybe the sheik will come later. I've been a sheik. I've been an assistant. I've been a sheik a couple of times in the grand sheik. Assistant sheik a couple of times and the sheik at least once. Was, right? I would rather be a minister because I can do way more stuff. So that will be going on to the county record in Tippecanoe County. If you don't know the history of Tippecanoe County, I think I finally figured out why I've been trapped here for 8 years, right? So I will be letting them know that I've been appointed a minister to do ministerial duties, right? So here's my certificate of trust where I took my 508 incorporation and had is setting up a trust for other more. It's not for me. I will be setting up my own separate trust to put into this trust that's attached to the prophet's trust. So basically, this trust that I just set up, or I'm setting up, I think I've said it before, this is what the temple is supposed to be doing. I'm just like, I'm basically a temple and everything, but like I don't have the official charter. Actually, I could print myself out a charter, and I bet my stuff would be respected as legit before a lot of these people out here, right? But I don't have time for if somebody could help me and you talk to the parishioners and the congregants, because I got this stuff to do. So now I will be putting on file my certificate of trust existence for, ready? The El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali Mercy Trust. Okay. Anybody who hears this, feel free to use that name. I give it to you, except for the mercy part. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that this message may be spread widely to assist in our mission to normalize Moorish. Okay. Anybody who hears this, feel free to use that name. I give it to you, except for the mercy part. This is me trying to create some continuity and some commonality. So when people see it, they just move on, okay? It's the El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali. You better know who that is, okay? Mercy Trust, because it's through my 508 corporation, Moorish Religious and Cultural Institute, Inc. Mercy. So this is the El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali Trust for Mercy. If you have another company or are going to set up another company, use that. I'm going to use my son for instance. I'm going to set up for him and give it to him because he doesn't exist. So I'm going to set up a trust so he can exist, right? And he can get some stuff done without having to come to mommy or one of his siblings to get it for him. So he will have the El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali Nifty Trust, because Nifty is an acronym for something. It's the Najiola Family Trust, NFT. So I'm going to set up my own family trust and give it to him. And, that's my son. It's like, dude, go ahead. We'll figure something else out because, whatever. I got a feeling your little sister going to end up, taking over it. She going to, do a hostile takeover anyway. So I'm going to just give it to you for now, So have at it. I hope that makes sense. So that's why I said can't tell me nothing. Because the more I get into this, the more it's are you serious? I almost feel dumb that this has been sitting in my face the whole time. I'm not trying to do the secure party creditor. I know how to do that stuff. I have the paperwork to do it. I'm not trying to do all that right now. Right now, I'm just trying to take everything that these occupiers think they can get their hands on and be because of who they think I am, and be I have nothing to take. It's all in that trust, right? And I'll figure out the rest of it later. I might, somebody else has that piece. Y'all about that person. I think I know who it is. I think I know who he is because it's like, how did I find you? And he's like, oh, I'm going to tell them how, I'm going to correct my status on the basis of being a free national, blah, 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 blah. And it's a brother. It's like, dude, I got a piece. I'll trade you a piece that I see that you have that I don't have for a piece I know you don't have based on what you just said. I'll trade you. One of those situations, right? So this is just the beginning. This will be available on certifiedmoorish.org, Allah willing, sometime next week, right? Because I want Moors to get this as soon as possible. And I will be walking you through what I'm doing with it, right? It just feels good, right? It's like that. It's arrogance building, not confidence, arrogance. It's like, say something, right? So yeah, I still got to file it and everything, but at least I got it stamped, so it's official. Okay, so that's anticipated the first week. All right, weekly news. Cool, 20 minutes in. I'm not going to keep y'all too much longer. Weekly news, not that much. And know what that happened in China this week. Islam, thank y'all for being here. Happy Holy Day, all that. Hope you see y'all in Chicago. There was just a more Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice tour in Chicago last week. Yeah, last week. And a brother, I was talking to him yesterday, and he was just so hurt because he was in Chicago, but he had to work, so he missed it. Have heart. There is in the works a Moorish meetup for October of this year, where we're going to meet up there for convention, right? For the weekend, because I know everybody can't stay there for the whole week. So we just going to do it around whatever weekend falls within that week, right? So it's going to be a whole thing, and that's in October. So you got what? July, August, September, right? Part of October to plan that out. I'm letting you know right now, so you didn't miss nothing, right? So I know I'll be there, right? It's one of those things. So anyway, back to the weekly news. So I thought this week I would just touch on what happened in the Supreme Court, because a couple of rulings dropped this week. Because there's war going on. I don't care. You know, there's economies collapsing. The only reason I care is it's like, oh, thank goodness Jerome Powell didn't lower the interest rate. I'm getting ready to go buy a couple of CDs and, you know, save up my money and keep you know how it's like, oh, they made wise investments. These are those moments they talking about that person took advantage of when they say they made wise investments. So if you have a bank account, you know, or a business bank account, because I'm doing everything through my business, go get a CD. Go get some kinds of high yield, because the interest rate is like 4%. All right, so I'm just saying, I put one in and sat on it for like 6 months. I think I told this before. And it matured right when my washing machine broke down. And just the interest was enough to replace my washing machine. I'm just saying. Anyway, and I didn't have to work for that. So that's there. This week, in the news, couple of Supreme Court rulings that I thought the Moors would be interested in. Mahmoud versus Taylor. Okay? Right of parents to opt their children out of LGBTQ, XYZ, who cares, plus materials. Okay? And it says, in a 6-3 ruling, the court held that public schools must allow parents to opt their children out of instruction involving sexual depravity storybooks on religious grounds, and that parents must be notified in advance. So they up in there introducing your children to porn, straight porn, and they bogus for it because some of these books were written for young adults. I'm into books. Young adults is like not even young. New adult. Young adult is like high school. New adult is after high school. What is this book doing in middle school? I can't get no other books up in there that's designated for new adults, but I can get this homo crap up in there. So that's why I said this ruling is no more homo. All right. Parents, somebody took it all the way. You had to go all the way to the Supreme Court to say, I need to know if you teaching my children how to be homosexual. Because apparently they were just like showing this stuff in class, putting it in school, and not telling the parents anything. The only way the parents found out was because the children were like, what's this? I don't understand. Is this okay, mommy? You know, so yeah. So that's actually a plus for Moors, right? Because they said, oh, this is only, the ruling said that it's for the case was brought because of LGBT stuff, right? Or sexual depravity. I'm not going to be naming all these freaking letters. I'm not going through the alphabet. This freaky stuff, right? That's what it was when I was growing up. That's what it's going to be. So I'm going to generalize that and say you need to notify me and get permission to do anything that goes against my religious practice, like the Halloween thing, the Christmas pageant, dressing up for Thanksgiving. I got a big problem with that. Now I can sue you because you're a federally funded institution. Now I can sue you for that. If I tell, you have to tell folks, and at least I should let you know, and I'm working on this too. It's on certifiedmoorish.org. You can see all the stuff that I'm bringing out that I've been using. And it's like, oh, y'all need that too? The temple should have been handling this. Here you go. Right? So I'm a homeschooler, right? I'm I still am a homeschooler, right? And I've been homeschooling. My daughter is 23. So I've been homeschooling for what, like 18 years? So in various states. So I know how to do this. So I will be bringing out documentation because you need to let these folks know. I have no choice but to put my child in this state institution for whatever reason. You probably got to work and it's just you, right? Here's what you can and cannot do under penalty or under consequence of getting sued. Sue your socks off. And I'll help you with that too, right? Because now there's been a case passed to say they got to let you know. And I'm guessing like, well, fine. I heard anything that goes against my religion. That does not have to be limited to this freak show stuff. All right, I'm just saying. And yes, I am being disrespectful because y'all being disrespectful. You don't know I'm straight. Why do I have to know if you gay? That kind of thing. Why are you telling my children? Oh, that's right, because you can't produce your own population. You have to inflict, impose, and infect other people's children because you can't produce your own because of, your very lifestyle precludes you from doing so. So somebody sued for that and won. All right. So it says this reinforces the religious rights of families to guide their children's moral education. An important affirmation for communities valuing religious freedoms and parental sovereignty. No more forced participation in demonic school holiday pageants unless they want to be hit with a lawsuit. So that's that. That's there. So if you have a child that is in a state school blowing them away, you don't have to explain nothing, right? I would say do, just because it gets you more. It's one thing if you hit me and then I say I'm a tell. It's another thing to say, here's what'll happen if you hit me and you hit me. Now I can do a lot more than just tell. Okay, just notice. I'm not asking you for permission for anything. Notice. All right, second one. Okay, cool. It's almost 30 minutes. Trump versus Casa Inc. I don't know if I'm going to get to the, what is that? The main idea, which was Where Are Their Men? It's actually a chapter from Exhuming of a Nation, right? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to that because I really got to go take care of some other stuff before temple starts. I only brought it up because the temple that I will be attending tonight will be covering it. So if I don't get to it, that's fine because they gonna get to it, and I know I'm gonna be there talking about it. So if you wanna, and we be building. The link is on certifiedmoorish.org/temple finder, right? And there's a link right there to enter into their Zoom class. All right, so there's that. If I don't get to it, because it's already coming up on 30 minutes on this thing. Anyway, second case: Trump versus Casa Inc. Limitation on nationwide injunctions affecting birthright citizenship. That's a big one. So I heard that this first thing this morning, and I'm like, let me get dressed, make it quite obvious that, I might look like the only people that's not getting bothered right now, but I'm a little something extra, right? And hopefully you know what you're looking at. Because I live in a college town, a lot of foreigners around here. And I couldn't help but notice how my son is a witness. We coming out the grocery store, and some Hindu dude, usually they like kind of all cocky and whatnot and waiting for you to get out the way. He stopped and he jerked back. That's why I noticed. Young guy jerked back, looked at me for a second, and scooted over and moved out the way to walk around me. I'm like, yup, he must have heard about it too. So, Trump versus Casa Inc. Limitation on nationwide injunctions affecting birthright citizenship. This is why we really need to get our stuff together. We really do. So, in a 6-3 vote, the court ruled that the lower courts cannot issue universal injunctions blocking federal policies nationwide unless necessary for the specific plaintiff. This ruling directly impacts former President Trump's executive order on restricting birthright citizenship, though it did not rule on the order's constitutionality. So, what happened was, make sure I don't have it on here already before I repeat myself. Oh, I'm going to read the rest of it. Okay. It says the court stayed the lower court injunctions only for the named parties. Okay. Not nationwide. So these cases were brought by a specific person in a district court. And this district court took it upon themselves to rule on behalf of the entire nation, which is not their purview, even though they are a federal court. Okay, you can rule for that guy, and then other people can use it as precedent. You cannot make that true across the board. Only the Supreme Court can do that. So, the court stayed the lower court injunctions only for the named party. So the only ones who like, oh, okay, we're gonna tell Trump not to deport you while we decide on the constitutionality of this thing. Only the people that got. So this happened in Texas. Oh, all the illegals in Texas can relax. No. Just that illegal that was named in the suit in Texas is cool. The rest of y'all, you need to continue making plans. Anyway, they stayed the lower court's injunction only for the named party, not nationwide, leaving the broader birthright citizenship issue unresolved and delaying full implementation for at least 30 days. So, if I understand this correctly, only that guy is okay for the next 30 days, right? We're just staying the injunction. Hey, there's an injunction for this guy. We don't know what we're going to do. In 30 days, we're going to let you know if you can go or if you can stay or if you got to go. This decision narrows federal court power, potentially enabling parts of Trump's immigration policies to take effect in some jurisdictions. It has major implications for the federal judiciary's role and for national immigration policy, especially the fight over Jew Soli citizenship under the 14th Amendment. Thank you, Noble Drew Ali, for reminding us that we do not need the 14th Amendment. We don't need the 13th Amendment either, right? So that thing establishes Jus Soli, right of soil. I was born here. I get to stay. No. Would that work in China? I guess we do have a work in China. There's only a few countries in here on planet Earth. I think it's like 9 of them. It might not even be that many that have Jus Soli birthright. Everybody else has Jus Sanguis. What's the part that I can't change? I can change where you are. I can change your location. I cannot change your DNA and your phenotypical structures to change you from Moorish to Chinese. So, Jus Sanguis. Where are you from? We don't need that crap. Thanks. That's why I said at the beginning, 14th Amendment. Thanks, but no thanks. Y'all need to start packing. Because it's so crazy how these Caucasians think they okay. It's like you do know you're taking practice shots at everybody else. And eventually, we don't have to turn the gun on you. You're going to do it to yourself. Pure clean nation. Watch. All right. All right. So that's 30 minutes. I'm done. If y'all want to hear about the Where Are Their Men? That was a really good chapter. It's in Exhuming of a Nation by Elihu Pleasant Bay, right? And it's talking about I like it because usually I'm like going up in here like, yeah, here we go. Is this going to be another argument about how women need to be doing stuff and making men do that and X, Y, and Z? No, he put it on the brothers. He didn't like say, okay, it's all on y'all. This is all happening because y'all. Basically, it's saying the brothers have had traps set for them, right? They could have been set for the women too. But we need to break this family apart somehow. And we know it'll be easier to get you all separated from the children than these women. So we're going to set traps for y'all. And basically what I got from it is, it's up to you not to fall for the traps. It's up to you to be like, the way I'm reading this. If you had this book, go to it. It's on page... I'm about to do something bogus with this book in a minute too. It's on page 275. And by bogus, when I say I'm about to do something bogus, I'm about to scan this mug and find who's publishing it and see if I can make like a searchable PDF version online. Not to sell it. I don't want to sell it. Just to make a searchable version and maybe put it on audiobook. Because this is ridiculous. This book is huge, right? And I love references. I love reference books. And this should be available as a reference. So, yeah, like I said, I'm about to do something bogus. I'll ask for forgiveness, not permission. That kind of thing. So anyway, he's basically saying the Moorish man needs to stop being a perpetual teenager, right? And I just read that one passage, and it's like it's kind of true, because I just look at the women and the children. They're in the house together, suffering because the man ain't there. Is it up to the children to make the man be there? Is it up to the woman to make the man do anything? Because if I make you do something, you my child. All right, that's just me. That's how I'm gonna treat you too. I got people that can testify to that. Anyway, yeah. So if you want to go in depth, because I know I will be, that'll be at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to be on the class, but I've been getting the brother who leads the class to send me the Zoom meetings afterwards. So, but I'd rather you should just show up and participate in the conversation, because they always be live. All the way live. And with that, that's all I got, Moors. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. I got to go get some stuff straightened out for the nation. I hope y'all are going to be doing the same thing. Other than that, I will see y'all next week, same time, same place, right? And yeah, make sure you visit CalifaMedia.com. We always got something going on. And of course, riseofthemoors.org/NYC to see the itinerary of what we're going to be doing in July. Okay, you got a month. What's today? Today is the 27th. So you got a little less than a month. All right, but that's still plenty of time. All right. So yeah, Islam, y'all. Happy holy day, and I will see you this time next week. Islam, and bye-bye, y'all. That was dope. And all right, yeah, that was dope. That was dope.